All right, so you know how they say buying a car is a huge decision?
It really is.
Well, this deep dive is all about helping you guys avoid some major headaches down the road.
That sounds pretty good to me.
We're taking a look at this report that just came out, and it's a list of the 17 least reliable cars under 40,000 miles.
Under 40,000 miles.
Yeah. So
That's crazy.
we're talking about cars that are barely broken in, and they're already having some serious issues.
Yeah, that's definitely not a good
I
sign.
know. So let's jump right into it. Number 17 on this list is the Jeep Wrangler.
Oh, the Wrangler.
Yeah, it's got that rugged look. People love them for off-roading, but
But it seems like that comes at a price.
yeah, it does.
Owners are reporting some pretty major engine problems. Like we're talking thousands of dollars to fix some of these.
Yeah, and it's not just the engine either.
You're right. There are a lot of complaints about electrical problems, too.
And then there's the whole death wobble thing.
Oh, yeah, the infamous death wobble.
Which I don't even want to know what that is.
So at high speeds, some Wranglers experience this intense shaking in the steering wheel.
That sounds really dangerous,
It's definitely a safety concern.
especially on the highway or something.
And what's even more concerning is that the 2024 model has already had 6 recalls.
6 recall.
Yeah, that's a lot for a brand new car, and it really makes you think about the quality control.
Yeah, no kidding. All right, well, maybe sticking to the trails is the best bet with the Wrangler. Let's move on to number 16, the Mitsubishi Mirage.
A Mirage.
Yeah, this one's known for being pretty budget-friendly.
Very budget-friendly.
But it seems like maybe you're sacrificing more than just fancy features.
Yeah, definitely. Drivers are complaining about lackluster performance,
Really?
especially on the highway.
Oh, so it can't even get up to speed.
But it's not just the engine, it's just overall build quality. People are talking about a noisy ride, uncomfortable ride, and the handling isn't great either.
So not exactly a smooth ride?
Nope, not really what you'd hope for.
Okay, so let's move on to number 15, the Volkswagen Jetta.
Ugh.
The Jetta.
Another car that seems pretty affordable, but
But are you really getting a bargain? That's the question.
yeah, I know. So what are people saying?
Owners are reporting a whole bunch of issues, mostly with the engine.
Like what kind of issues?
Engine stalling seems to be a pretty common complaint. And some are even experiencing misfires,
Misfires.
especially in the turbocharged models.
Oh, wow. And those are pretty common, right? The turbocharged?
Yeah. And it doesn't stop there. Electrical problems keep coming up again and again with the Jetta.
That's not good. What kind of electrical problems?
The ignition switch, specifically, which leads to, you guessed it, even more engine stalling.
So you're just constantly stalling out.
Exactly.
That doesn't sound fun.
And, even though it has that attractive price, the Jetta has racked up 4 recalls already just in 2024 alone.
That's wild.
It really seems like Volkswagen's having a hard time with all those electrical gremlins.
I see. All right, well, let's switch gears and talk about the Nissan Frontier at number 14.
The Frontier. All right.
So this one is marketed as this rugged, dependable, mid-size pickup truck.
Sounds pretty good.
But
But the reports are telling us a different story.
they really are. What are people experiencing?
Transmission and drivetrain issues are the big complaints with the Frontier.
Oh, wow. Is that for people that are actually using it as a work truck?
Especially for them. We're seeing reports of the engine overheating, rough shifting, problems you really don't want if you're using it as a work truck.
You would think a work truck would be more reliable.
You'd hope so.
Well, so much for that. And just like the Jetta, the Frontier has already had 3 recalls this year.
3.
It really makes you wonder if they're even trying to prioritize quality control.
It's a good point. It makes you wonder about how long these trucks will last. Are they really built to last? It's something to think about if you're looking to buy a pickup truck.
Yeah, no kidding. All right, get ready for this one because at number 13, we have the Rivian R1T,
The R1T.
which is this brand new electric pickup truck.
Brand new, huh?
Yeah, and it's definitely getting a lot of buzz,
So what's the problem?
but maybe not for the right reasons.
So it's interesting because the R1T is like this cutting-edge electric vehicle, but it's already having some big problems.
Yeah, what kind of problems?
Software glitches that are messing with a lot of the key systems.
Oh, no.
And some owners are even saying that they're having problems with the suspension.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. I would think for a brand new car like that, you'd think that they'd have worked out all the kinks.
You would think so, right?
Mm.
It really just shows you how hard it is to bring new technology to the market.
Yeah, it really does. And I can only imagine, since it's a relatively new brand, that it's probably really hard to find parts and mechanics that can work on them.
Absolutely. And the R1T has actually already had 4 recalls just this year.
4 already.
for things like airbag issues and problems with the accelerator pedal.
That's scary.
It's not exactly making people feel confident about buying one.
No kidding. So much for that honeymoon phase. All right, moving on to number 12, we have the Volvo XC60,
Okay, the XC60.
which is this luxury SUV. It's known for its safety and its style.
It's a beautiful car,
But is it all just a facade?
well, we're seeing a lot of reports about transmission problems.
Really?
And even engine stalling.
Engine stalling in a luxury car.
You would think that they'd have that figured out.
I would think so. And this is ironic because it's all the fancy tech that seems to be causing most of the problems.
It really is.
Especially the infotainment system and all the driver assist features.
They're having a lot of electrical failures.
You would think that a luxury car would have those things all figured out.
You'd think so, wouldn't you? And yet the XC60 has already had 3 recalls this year.
Wow. 3 already.
It makes you think if all those luxury features are really worth the hassle and the cost.
Yeah, sometimes simpler is better. Speaking of simple, let's talk about the Ford F-150 Hybrid at number 11.
The F-150 Hybrid. Okay.
So it's trying to do it all,
Yeah.
It wants power, capability, and fuel efficiency.
Yeah, sounds pretty good.
But is it spreading itself too thin?
It really seems that way.
Mm.
Because as much as a hybrid F-150 sounds good on paper,
Yeah.
it's having some really serious reliability problems.
What kind of problems?
Owners are talking about issues with the hybrid battery system,
Okay.
engine stalling,
Wow.
and even drivetrain failures.
And get this. It's already had 4 recalls in 2024.
4.
That's more than the standard F-150.
More than the standard.
Yeah, so you'd think that the hybrid would be more reliable, not less.
That's what you would think.
I know.
I guess this shows you that new technology, even when it's supposed to be better, can sometimes just create a whole new set of problems.
It really does. Well, we've covered quite a few cars already, but we're just getting started. We're about to get into the top 10 least reliable vehicles under 40,000 miles, and trust me, things are about to get even more interesting.
I can't wait.
All right, so we're back, and we're going to keep going through this list of the 17 least reliable cars under 40,000 miles.
We're getting to the top 10 now.
I know, the worst of the worst.
The worst of the worst, exactly.
So let's jump right in. At number 10, we have the Nissan Rogue,
The Rogue.
which is a popular crossover SUV.
It's pretty popular, but
But
it seems like it's having some issues.
yeah, it seems like the very technology that makes it stand out is also what's causing all the problems.
What do you mean?
Well, it has this new turbocharged 3-cylinder engine,
Okay.
and it uses variable compression technology,
Oh, I heard about that.
which sounds pretty impressive.
Yeah, it does.
But it's actually causing some pretty major internal bearing failures.
Internal bearing failures.
Yeah, good.
So what does that even mean?
Well, it means the engine isn't working how it should, and it often causes this really noticeable knocking sound.
Oh, that's not good.
Not something you want to be hearing, especially in a new car.
Especially in a new car.
Yeah.
And it sounds like that's not even the only problem area.
You're right. The Rogue also uses a CVT,
A CVT. What's that?
a continuously variable transmission. And they're designed to be more fuel efficient,
Okay.
but they have this reputation for, having some reliability issues.
So it's like a trade-off.
Pretty much. Yeah.
You get better fuel efficiency, but then you might have to deal with transmission problems.
Exactly. And with the Rogue, it seems like it's not worth it.
Really?
Consumer Reports actually found that almost 15% of Rogue owners reported transmission problems within the first few years of owning it.
Oh, wow.
And those repairs are not cheap. Like, you could be looking at thousands of dollars to replace a CVT.
That's a tough pill to swallow.
Yeah, it really is. All right, well, moving on to number 9, we have the Ford Bronco Sport.
The Bronco Sport. That's a cool-looking car.
It is. It's supposed to be this adventurous, go-anywhere SUV.
Yeah, but it seems like maybe it's better suited for just staying on the pavement.
Yeah, maybe so. So the Bronco Sport has this 1.5L 3-cylinder EcoBoost engine,
Okay.
and it's had a lot of problems.
Really? What kind of problems?
Well, Ford has already issued multiple recalls, including one for fuel injector cracking.
Fuel injector cracking.
I know.
That sounds serious.
It is. It can lead to fuel leaks.
Oh, so a fire hazard.
Pretty much.
Not good.
And on top of the recalls, owners are reporting all these other issues with the engine, too.
Like what?
Like overheating, turbocharger failures, and just like a lot of excessive engine noise.
Oh, Really?
Yeah, JD Power actually ranks the Bronco Sport below average in terms of reliability. So,
And people are experiencing these problems way before 30,000 miles, right?
right, exactly. So much for that whole rugged off-road image.
Yeah, so much for that image.
All right, buckle up because at number 8, we have not one but two American icons, the GMC Sierra and the Chevrolet Silverado.
Ah, yes, the classic American pickup trucks.
You know, they're known for their power and their capability,
That's right.
but they're also starting to become known for their reliability problems.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and we're not talking about like minor issues here.
What kind of issues are we talking about?
Like problems that pop up really early in the truck's lifespan.
So early on, huh?
Like way too early. So one
Right.
of the main culprits seems to be this cylinder deactivation technology that GM uses.
Cylinder deactivation.
Yeah, so it's designed to save fuel,
Oh,
but shutting down some of the cylinders when you don't need them.
that's a good idea.
It is, but in practice, it's been causing a lot of problems.
Like what kind of problems?
Like lifter collapse, excessive engine noise, and even sudden engine shutdowns.
So it backfires, basically.
Yeah, pretty much. And it's not just the engine that's causing problems either.
What else?
The Sierra and Silverado are also experiencing transmission problems and a lot of electrical problems too.
Which means costly repairs.
Big time. And it's a shame because these trucks, they look great, they have a lot to offer.
Yeah, they do.
But if you're looking for a reliable work truck, I don't think I would go with these.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Okay, moving on to number 7, the Volkswagen Taos.
Another Volkswagen.
I know, it seems like they're having a rough time when it comes to reliability.
It seems that way.
So the Taos is a compact SUV. Okay.
And it's marketed as this affordable and stylish option.
Yeah.
But potential buyers should be aware of all the reliability concerns that have been reported.
So what's the main issue with the Taos?
Well, like the Jetta, the Taos is having problems with its 1.5L turbocharged engine.
Again, that 1.5 liter engine.
I know, right? Owners are reporting fuel system failures,
Okay.
stalling,
Oh,
and some issues with the turbocharger itself.
wow. So it seems like Volkswagen has some work to do.
Yeah, they do. And stalling is just never a good sign.
No, it's not. Especially if you're in traffic or on the highway.
Exactly. And to make matters worse, the all-wheel drive versions of the Taos come with a dual-clutch transmission,
Oh, no.
which has a history of reliability issues.
So you could be looking at both engine and transmission problems.
Pretty much, yeah.
Oh, that's not good.
And let's not forget about the electrical issues that have also been reported.
It's adding to all the problems.
I know, it's a shame because the Taos looks really great and it has a lot of potential.
It does. It really does. But it seems like all those good looks are hiding some pretty serious mechanical flaws.
It's a good reminder that it's important to look beyond what you see on the surface when you're choosing a car. Reliability and how much it'll cost you to own in the long run are super important.
Very important. Okay, we're about to get into the top 6 least reliable cars under 40,000 miles. You ready for this?
I'm ready. Let's do it. This is where things get really interesting.
I know, right? So at number 6, we have not one, but 2 Jeep models, the Grand Cherokee 4xC and the Wrangler 4Ice.
The 4x Jeeps.
These plug-in hybrid Jeeps are supposed to be the best of both worlds.
What do you mean?
Off-road capability and eco-friendliness.
Yeah, that sounds pretty good.
It does, but it seems like they're struggling to live up to that promise.
Really?
Yeah. So instead of saving the planet and conquering the trails, you might be stuck at the dealership.
What's wrong with them?
Both the Grand Cherokee 4x's and the Wrangler 4i's have been hit with tons of recalls. A lot of them are related to some pretty serious problems with the hybrid powertrain.
Oh, no, like what?
Battery failures, software glitches that can cause the engine to shut down while you're driving,
What?
and even some reports of electrical fires.
Electrical fires?
Yeah.
That's scary.
It's really dangerous. And it's a shame because these plug-in hybrid Jeeps,
Yeah.
they seem like such a great option for people that want a capable and eco-friendly vehicle.
Yeah, it's too bad they're having so many problems.
It is. But until Jeep can address these reliability issues, I think it's best to steer clear.
Yeah, probably a good idea.
Okay, let's move on to number 5. We have a group of vehicles that have been in the news for all the wrong reasons. Hyundai and Kia models that have the 2.0L 4-cylinder engine.
Oh, yeah, I've heard about those.
So we're talking about popular models like the Hyundai Elantra, Sonata, and Tucson,
Okay.
as well as the Kia Forte, Soul, and Sportage.
So these are all pretty popular cars.
Yeah, they are. And they're known for being affordable and practical.
Yeah.
But it seems like there's a pretty serious problem lurking under the hood.
What is it?
The Theta 2 engine family.
Okay.
has had a ton of problems for years.
Like what?
We're talking excessive oil consumption,
Okay.
premature bearing wear,
Huh.
and even engine fires.
Engine fires. That's terrifying.
It is. And it's a problem that Hyundai and Kia have been trying to address for over a decade now.
A decade.
Yeah, the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration has issued recalls for millions of vehicles because of these engine problems.
Millions of vehicles.
So should people just avoid Hyundai and Kia altogether? What do you think?
Well, I don't know about that.
Yeah.
Both companies are working on fixing these issues.
Yeah.
And they've even extended warranties on some of the affected vehicles.
Okay.
So it's definitely something to keep in mind if you're thinking about buying a Hyundai or Kia with a 2.0L engine.
Yeah.
Do your research, see if there are any recalls, and consider all the risks before making your decision.
That's a good point. All right, moving on to number 4, we have the Infiniti QX50,
The QX50.
which is this luxury SUV.
Right.
You know, it promises a really smooth, sophisticated ride,
Yeah.
but it seems like all that luxury comes with a pretty hefty price tag.
And not just the sticker price.
Exactly. So the QX50 actually shares a lot of its parts with the Nissan Rogue.
The Rogue.
Yeah, which we talked about earlier. It's not exactly known for its reliability.
Oh, that's right.
So it's like you're paying extra for a car that's just as likely to have problems as its cheaper cousin.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
No, it doesn't. And owners of the QX50 are reporting a lot of the same problems that we saw with the Rogue.
Like what?
Issues with the turbocharged 2.0L engine and the continuously variable transmission.
Oh, those again?
I know. And because Infiniti is a luxury brand, the repair costs can be just astronomical.
Astronautical. What do you mean?
Like way more expensive. The parts and labor are more expensive, so a small problem can quickly turn into a major financial headache.
That's not good.
Okay, we're down to the final 3. Let's see what we've got. At number 3, we have the Chrysler Pacifica Hybrid.
Okay. Pacifica Hybrid.
So this minivan is marketed as like the ultimate family vehicle,
I've heard about that one.
but it seems like maybe it's better suited for staying in the garage.
What do you mean?
Well, the Pacifica Hybrid, it's spacious, it's fuel efficient, it's packed with all these family-friendly features.
It sounds pretty good.
It does. But unfortunately, it's also had a lot of recalls.
For what?
A lot of them have to do with problems with the hybrid powertrain.
Oh, no.
So instead of those family road trips, you might be stuck going back and forth to the dealership.
That's frustrating. So what's actually going wrong with these minivans?
Owners are saying they're having all kinds of problems.
Like what?
Electrical failures, battery issues, and even some reports of fires.
Fires.
I know, it's really scary, especially if you have your family in the car.
Yeah, you don't want to be dealing with that.
And to make matters worse, Consumer Reports just recently ranked the Pacifica as the least reliable vehicle in their annual survey.
Oh, wow. The least reliable.
Yeah, it seems like Chrysler's having a really hard time getting a handle on these problems.
That's a bummer because the Pacifica Hybrid really does have a lot to offer families.
It does. It's just too bad about all these reliability issues.
You're right. Until Chrysler can prove that it's safe and reliable,
Yeah,
it might be best to look at other options.
I agree. All right, we're down to the final 2. In the runner-up spot, at number 2, we have the Jaguar F-Pace.
The F-Pace. Isn't that supposed to be like a really nice car?
It is. It's a luxury SUV. It's known for its sporty performance and that really sleek design.
Yeah. I've always thought they looked really cool.
Yeah, it's a beautiful car, but it seems like beauty can be deceiving.
What do you mean?
The F-Pace has actually been dealing with all kinds of mechanical problems.
Like what?
Everything from electrical system failures to transmission issues, engine leaks.
Wow, that sounds like a nightmare.
It really is. And those repairs, I bet they don't come cheap.
Oh, I bet they don't.
J.D. Power gave the F-Pace a below-average reliability rating.
Oh, no.
And the repair costs are just crazy high because of the parts and because you need specialized service to work on it.
It's crazy that you pay a premium price for a car that's just going to end up spending all its time in the shop.
I know, it doesn't make sense. So it's really a reminder that just because it's a fancy brand name, it doesn't mean it's good quality.
You're absolutely right.
All right, are you ready for this? The number 1 least reliable car under 40,000 miles is, drumroll please,
Let's hear it.
the Land Rover Range Rover.
The Range Rover. No way.
This luxury SUV, it's so iconic.
Yeah,
And it has this reputation for style and off-road capability.
that's right.
But it's also known for its reliability problems.
Really? I didn't do that.
And we're not talking about minor annoyances here.
So serious issues.
Owners are saying they're having major problems.
Like what?
Engine failures, suspension problems, just constant electrical malfunctions.
Wow, that's crazy. especially for such an expensive car.
I know. And actually, a study by UK Warranty Direct found that the Range Rover is one of the most unreliable vehicles on the market.
Really?
The average repair cost is almost $2,000.
$2,000 every time something goes wrong.
That's crazy, especially for a car that's supposed to be, the ultimate in luxury.
It seems like Land Rover's having a hard time balancing luxury with reliability.
Yeah, it seems that way. And with all those fancy tech systems and those high-end components, repairs can just get really expensive really quickly.
Yeah, they can. So I guess if you want a reliable, trouble-free driving experience,
Yeah,
the Range Rover's probably not for you.
probably not the best choice. It seems like a case of style over substance.
It does. Sometimes it's better to choose a vehicle that's known for being dependable, even if it doesn't look as cool.
Well, there you have it. The 17 least reliable cars under 40,000 miles. This has been eye-opening.
It has.
It's crazy that not all cars are created equal.
That's for sure.
We hope this deep dive has given you the knowledge you need to make a smart decision and avoid those car troubles down the road.
And remember, guys, this is just a starting point.
Yeah.
Do your research, read reviews, and check those reliability ratings before you go and buy a car.
Okay, so we're down to the top 3 least reliable cars under 40,000 miles. This is it. The moment of truth.
It is. The anticipation is killing me.
Me too. Let's get right to it. Number 3 is a vehicle that's supposed to be a dream for families. The Chrysler Pacifica Hybrid.
The Pacifica Hybrid.
Yeah, it's marketed as this spacious, fuel-efficient minivan, perfect for families.
Yeah?
But it seems like all those family vacations might be taking a little detour to the repair shop.
A detour. What do you mean?
Well, the Pacifica Hybrid has been having some problems.
Oh, no.
It's been hit with a lot of recalls.
Really? For what?
A lot of them are because of problems with the hybrid powertrain.
The hybrid powertrain. It's not good.
And we're not just talking about little glitches here.
So, like, big problems.
Owners are reporting some serious stuff.
Like what?
Electrical failures,
Okay.
problems with the battery system,
Oh, wow.
and even some cases of fires.
Fires? That's terrifying.
Yeah, it's a big safety concern, and it's especially scary if you've got your family in the car, right?
Absolutely. You don't want to be dealing with that.
And to make matters even worse, Consumer Reports just recently ranked the Pacifica as the least reliable vehicle in their whole annual survey.
The least reliable. Wow, that's not a good look.
No, it's not. It seems like Chrysler is really having trouble getting a handle on these problems.
Well, that's disappointing. It sounds like the Pacifica Hybrid has so much potential for families.
It does. It really does.
But I guess till Chrysler can figure these things out and prove that it's safe and reliable, families might want to look for something else.
Yeah, probably a good idea. All right, well, let's move on to number 2. The second least reliable car under 40,000 miles. The Jaguar F-Pace.
The F-Pace.
This luxury SUV is known for its, sleek design and sporty performance.
It's a nice looking car.
It is. But it seems like all that style might come at a cost.
What do you mean?
The F-Pace has been having a lot of mechanical problems.
Really? Like what kind of problems?
We're talking like electrical system failures, transmission issues, even engine leaks. It's basically a whole list of car nightmares.
Oh, wow. That's a lot to deal with.
I know. And I bet those repairs don't come cheap either.
Oh, I bet they're expensive,
Uh-huh.
especially for a Jaguar.
Exactly. J.D. Power actually gave the F-Pace a below-average reliability rating.
Below average. That's not good.
Not good at all. And the repair costs are super high.
That makes sense. You need those special parts, and you probably have to take it to a special mechanic, right?
Exactly. So you're paying a lot of money for a car that's probably going to spend a lot of time in the shop.
That doesn't sound like a good deal to me.
Not at all. So it really goes to show you that just because it's a fancy brand name doesn't mean it's actually good quality.
You're right about that.
Okay. Are you ready for number 1? The moment we've all been waiting for.
I am.
Hit me with it.
The number 1 least reliable car under 40,000 miles is, drum roll please,
Chuckle softly.
the Land Rover Range
The
Rover.
Range Rover. No way. I would have never guessed that.
This iconic luxury SUV is so well known, you know.
It is.
It's known for its off-road capability and its sophisticated image.
You see them everywhere.
I know. But it turns out that all that might just be a facade.
What do you mean?
The Range Rover has actually become infamous for its reliability problems.
Really? I didn't know that.
Owners are reporting all kinds of major issues.
Like what?
Engine failures,
Wow.
suspension problems, and just constant electrical malfunctions.
So basically, everything that could go wrong is going wrong.
Pretty much, yeah. It's kind of hard to believe that a vehicle this expensive would be so prone to problems.
I know, right? You would think that they would have figured it out by now.
You would think so. And get this, a study by UK Warranty Direct found that the Range Rover is one of the most unreliable vehicles on the market.
You're kidding. Nope. And the average repair cost is almost $2,000
Every time.
every time something breaks. It's wild, especially for a vehicle that's supposed to be the ultimate in luxury, right?
Yeah, that doesn't really add up.
So it seems like Land Rover's having a hard time finding that balance between luxury and reliability.
Yeah, it seems that way.
And with all those high-tech features and expensive components, repairs can add up really fast.
This recipe for disaster. So, if you want a car that's dependable and will give you a ton of problems,
Yeah,
the Range Rover's probably not the one.
probably not the best choice.
Sometimes it's better to pick a car that's known for being reliable, even if it doesn't have that flashy image.
Couldn't agree more. Well, that's it. We've gone through all 17 of the least reliable cars under 40,000 miles. It's been quite a journey.
It really has.
But we hope that this deep dive has given you guys the info you need to make a good decision when you buy your next car and avoid some of those costly car troubles.
And remember, folks, do your research.
Yeah, read those reviews.
And check those reliability ratings. It's worth it in the long run.
Absolutely. And if even these big, well-known brands are having problems with reliability,
Yeah.
what does that mean for the future of car ownership?
It's a good question. I guess we'll have to wait and see.
Well, that's a discussion for another deep dive. Until then, drive safe and stay informed.